spot from Texture. Are they going to do the same thing?
Absolutely. Now, looks like PRX is going to be starting to spread their wings a little bit all across the map. And this is, I think, the good thing about that triple controller comp is you do have so many options to blot a good chunk of a big map such as this Breeze.
Especially on the attack, right? Just having three, sets of smokes to cycle through. You can see that they already sent out a high tide across A. It creates a bit of pressure, but at the same time, sustaining a bit of damage towards this B site. I think Gen.G gets a bit of information. Yeah,
haven't committed to toxic wall yet, so not really too much has been shown here by the hands of PRX. There it is.
There we go.
1 minute on the clock. There's still so many options that they can choose for, and I think they're just making sure that Gen.G has to just commit a lot of their stars for the start of this.
Apart from that, also just with the gate crash that something is using, they're going all over the map, but here it comes.
Yeah, Tripwire on that A site. This is the Yoru though, so he can bypass it. Needs to break it. Munchkin has been given up already. Right in front of him, 2 on the contact point. It's good. Something finds another. And they already secured that A site in the blink of an eye. Rest of Gen.G will have to go on that rotate back to the A site, but look at how far Devi has pushed up on Halls here. He's the first Vanguard for the moment. Holding, whiffing. He's going to go down, but at least he's got that information for the rest of PRX.
Yeah, it was a good hit nonetheless, and they know that there are players coming from Bridge, coming from Halls, and that just confirms a lot of it.
Okay, dash in. Texture's very aggressive into this as well as uber confident, but of course, PRX just going to be playing that post plan. Something coming around the corner, repositions, has to help out his team. Right at the precipice of the smoke, push from Texture. In a second, he can. 5 bullets, dashes right in, finds another one, and he picks up the 4K.
No way! First round already picks up the 4th. You see how he has that trigger discipline. I mean, normally we talk about trigger discipline. You're, hiding, waiting for the opportune moment. He's just waiting to track as the movement slows down. And that is unbelievable skill.
Man, the punish from that one too. You'd think that smoke would actually help out PRX, but did absolutely nothing for them as Texture basically got a lot of these segmented 1v1 fights in the span of just a couple of seconds, ultimately turning the hand for Gen.G.
And now they've picked up the Bulldogs. You got an Outlaw on Texture. He's looking to pick up the Bladestorm early on.
Oh, he wants to go for this insta peek on A main. PRX, they give him the satisfaction. He's getting closer. His teammates breaking and giving as much support as possible, and Wanyet's down already.
I mean, that's the other thing, right? Because it's an Outlaw, it's just so powerful. Anything on an eco round, it just chews right through. So these guys, PRX, they got to be so careful.
You can already see one spotting the tripwire outside of B main. Still, that's not going to stop PRX from starting to move their forces all the way here. Looks like they're just okay with that. Devi still hasn't gotten any contact with the Sheriffs that he's bought in the past 2 rounds. That's looking a little bit iffy. With the stars being committed here as well, and Texture actually pushing all the way up onto mid. This could be very bad for PRX as the spike drops.
Spike down mid.
Reloads. They know he's here. They don't really want to challenge him. It's way too risky. So they're running out of options. You can't go back into Elbow. You're pretty much stuck inside of B main. Texture, well, Tailwind's away, so maybe got a bit of breathing room, but 30 seconds left, Asarai.
Something's going to just try to make something happen. No pun intended.
30 seconds
Make some contacts here. Does have his great crash available. He wants to challenge out again the Outlaw of Texture, but when it's 140 body shot damage and you have shield or half shield, it's just not gonna work. You're just feeding him the kills, and now he's got that ace. 2 rounds in to the first map of this game.
Wow, that's just a big boost of confidence for Texture starting things off. I mean, yesterday he said he was hangry. Today, I don't know what he's on, but this is a whole new look. Bladestorm already available. I mean, the other thing is also just, PRX, they had Sheriffs. They're just trying to maybe go for some picks or the spike plan. Couldn't really find anything, and that's a little bit surprising.
There's so many players, I think, in this 2024 Pacific League that is on their revenge arc, right? Like Lenny, not getting the chance to play for Team Secret, and Texture, as the Des was mentioning, not having any opportunity to showcase his duelist, but here comes the dueling potential for something as he pushes up onto Orange. Any tricky business? Spots one, getting into the astral dimension, goes out, flashes, he still challenges something, he's got to make something happen here, and he does get it. Follow up by Monyet, but Caron's holding on. 3 versus 3, spike planted down.
You got the Cascade up as well, so there's a lot more room for Forsaken trying to play around this, pushing Gen.G back. They want to burn down the timer, and they want to stay alive as long as possible.
And Munchkin's coming around the corner here on double doors. They're just waiting for him to drop down already. Forsaken's right here for the first contact, but gets punished by Meteor. He's going to be alone by himself. 1 versus 1 though. Devi, unknowing of where his opponent might be, not spotting Meteor, getting closer and closer. He might not even know about this. There it is. No more utilities for Meteor. So it's a straight up start of the defuse. Devi playing and will be winning the gamble on the peak.
Yeah, you got the advantage of the spike. Might as well just hang back and, you know, play it loose and easy. And at the same time, I mean, you got to love the utility that PRX uses. You can see that, yeah, you know, 3 controllers, you got Mind Freak on the Sova. What? This might not be W Gaming, but no, it still very much is. The dimensional drift gives them so much space. Monyet is already there, kind of like what Will said on the desk, that secondary duelist, instantly trading back and forth for the entire team. And with that, you know, spike down, it's tough for Gen.G to retake in such situations.
True, but they do love their first contact, and Texture is already on this operator. There's not really much utility that can really punish him, but okay, Gravity will activate it, stuns as well, and that's going to be, as the dust settles, 2 kills down against Gen.G. PRX have somewhat of an advantage here. Oh, still pushing through the smoke! Butera with a double kill, triple kill, why don't you? And Mind Freak is alone by himself on Halls.
I can't believe that he reacted to that so quickly. I thought the Cascade would at least mask PRX's intentions for just a second, but he reacts just as quick.
And Karon's just so fast at being able to just get these punishes. Mind Freak's giving away his position. Of course, Texture's not going to miss the beat. PRX, they've been wanting to get this A main control for the longest time, but the smokes, man, the peek outs and the flashes, just even though they have the triple controller, it doesn't seem like it's, you know, it's giving them any leeway.
Yeah, not yet. That's the thing. I mean, the smokes are still just smokes, and without the flashes, dude, Karon was just popping off in that round. Round 5, this guy has 6 kills already as a controller.
I bet Will is starting to foam at the mouth. Yes, 3-1. Yes, this is what I was thinking, hoping about, predicting. PRX still wanting to get that quick contact, feeding all the orbs for something. This is a pretty good idea, I'd still say, because if he does keep getting that dimensional drift of his, it does give them a lot more access into the back of the site, but of course they still have to deal with this close contact that Lakia is setting up on A.
Yeah, with the positioning that Gen.G has, that classic 2-1-2 split. Oh, actually it's a 1-1-3 split. 3 stacked up, and it's just a little bit tougher for PRX to break through. You got the stars as well, and those are really, really annoying. So maybe trying to bait around it, trying to, you know, bait Karon into a peak. But then you also got to worry about Texture in this op.
Yeah, this is the problem about having a flash initiator. You just can't really flush out these set angles that they just break that. PRX break that themselves. Anyways, hold on. There's going to be 2 on the side itself. It's Karon and Texture on that contact. Forsaken pushes out, but Texture, he doesn't respect this wall. He just goes and swims through it. The high tide giving him a high time. And now it's only Mind Freak and Devi to remain. The pinch coming in from double door doesn't secure anything, so that has to be Devi just putting up the toxic screen, hoping that Mind Freak could deal with Texture. It's not going to happen. He only has the Sheriff in hand. 3 versus 1, 20 seconds. He's going to have to start pushing in, but because of how much out in the open he is, he's going to be exposed to Meteor, and that's going to be the 4-1 for Gen.G.
And Gen.G are feeling fired up, having won those rounds against PRX. They're like, oh, you guys think you're the Kings of Pacific. Wait till you see what we've got. I mean, this Gen.G, Texture on the op, Karon popping off with kills. They are able to play these anti-flash positions on the A site, no matter what PRX throws at them. The idea of going in for an execute like that off of, you know, something on the Yoru, you've got Monyet rollers. Surely it can be used to, you know, just block off vision and maybe, you know, block off certain areas. Make sure that Texture can't really, you know, dominate the map in his current fashion. So whatever it is, you know, that's kind of what the desk was talking about. Alex loves to call these timeouts. He knows when to pause the breaks. And right now, we shall see what kind of effect it has.
Well, Reckoning and Dimensional Drift is available for 2. Oh, I love this push from Texture, and he almost finds something.
Who's next?
And something doesn't waste any time, though. He does use his ultimate to start clearing things up. Reckoning coming in from double doors, and he already finds one. Karon could be in a world of hurt. The flash is out, but he's out of harm's way. Back of the side is going to be Meteor, using the cyber cages to give him a bit of positioning here to roam around. But something quickly deals with him, but Karon finds Forsaken through the off-cam kill. Oh, big flash from Lakia. Oh, they don't even expect it.
Planted.
He gate crashed backwards. I feel like Lakia might have heard it. So now everyone's kind of split up. Devi still up towards mid. It's a good bit of vision, but it's a 2-on-3 nonetheless. He can't use the Viper's Pit.
Yeah, Mindfreak is just by himself right now.
Here.
I mean, there's even the smoke coming into double doors. They have really segmented the two players of PRX, but Devi, he's hoping to be the savior here. Mindfreak's been given up out in the open texture. He's got everything, but Devi takes everything away from him, and that's going to give PRX a round.
Making use of Mindfreak's position, keeping Devi hidden, they were able to pick them off apart. You know, getting information as to where Texture was positioned, as to where the rest of them were trying to approach from. They knew how to find those shots. And that's, again, something that PRX can always do. But I think the crucial thing in that round was how something used that dimensional drift, how he pushed up all the way towards Orange, towards Bridge side. And from that point, he was able to find that back flank on towards Meteor. So that broke apart that A line of defense for Gen.G.
That, and if I can add, you know, they spotted Texture on mid, so the threat of the operator is way far if they actually just start, you know, hunkering their way onto the A site, which ultimately, as you mentioned, you know, with what you said, works in the favor of PRX on that push.
That said, though, we still need a few more rounds. Both sides have ultimates, and Meteor has been such a menace. Now he's swapped up over back to B site. PRX is trying to approach here.
He's already preparing himself. Ooh, where did that shot come from? Meteor, I think, just shot through the smoke. That's going to be the punish on Monyet. Waiting for the rest of PRX to come through that B site. There's so many tripwires here. It might get a little bit tricky, but something just slowly walks up. That's all you need, you know? Just keep it simple, keep it safe.
And that's the thing about New Breeze as well. This backside, back walls, you are able to sneak up on front like that. So now that the spike has gone down, Gen.G are sensing that they don't quite have the timing on this retake. Devi.
Yeah, he's going to be the first contact on this 3 waterfall down mid. He's already been spotted. Oh, Forsaken's not hitting any shots. Finally does, able to do so. And the pinch works out, leaving Texture by himself. But man, he's got some options here. Time might not be one of them though, so he might have to save up. And Mindfreak through the smoke, or through the toxic screen, blasts away something. Want to pick it up? Want to use it for attack? He will not. I was talking about the operator.
Yeah, maybe no ops for now, but you can definitely feel the impact of Alex's timeouts already, right? Just called from the previous round. Now they've won 2 in a row. And you can see the clear idea and game plan, how they make use of these smokes, how they use something to really creep in, cut out space, and really block off and cause a lot of chaos for Gen.G's defenses. So, wow. Counter timeout being called.
Challenges or fights for him quite easy. Anyways, PRX now looking to go for that B site. They do have the shock darts, so they are breaking as much utility as they can. And of course, yep, I love this. When you use the decoy, it activates the trip, so at least you'll know where not to push. Meteor is doing his damnedest to just, again, dodge everything, but it's not working. It's a lot of kills already positioned here for the favor of PRX. Lost at the back of the side. Texture does make a bit of wave at the back of things, but it's not going to work out, and Devi finishes it off, and we are tied 4-4.
It is an anti-eco round after all, but what a bit of an execute. PRX, you got the fake out, you got the smokes, and they knew exactly how to work against Meteor's setup. And that's the main thing. They want to counter that Cypher pick. They want to figure out a way to go through, and they've done it. Monyet can always Shrouded Step over it. He is that secondary duelist. Something as the Yoru just cuts in space, he can, you know, break open those trips and create a bit of flashes for his team. And it just does so much. Sometimes Gen.G doesn't quite know how to react, so there definitely is some changes in terms of that defensive setup.
Texture is still committing on this operator of his. Something one away from the dimensional. Imagine just like as Texture. It's like, seeing that out of the open, right? Anyways, he's already committed the Tailwind, so might as well over-push just in case he can get that, again, that one-off kill, if ever. Seems like because they spotted, again, Texture on B, or on A, excuse me, they're just going to bring the whole enchilada on that B site.
Yeah, why not? We know we can avoid that op. We can just go straight for Meteor. We can go straight for Munchkin, take out those two, and then we have the site. Seekers were deployed by Lakia, though, and he's already here to reinforce. Something's trying to get that through.
Yeah. 2 on the interior of the site, excuse me. Monyet trying to find somebody inside of smokes, and it is so confusing to be in all of that positioning. Somehow, it is Gen.G getting on top of things. Monyet, no ultimate for him, so he's stuck here until Devi comes in. So he is waiting for his teammate to give him that assistance. 40 seconds on the clock, and this is a pretty smart move from PRX now that they still have that toxic screen to block away that control at the back of the site, where you already see Caron getting closer. He might not be spotted, as well as Texture coming in from B main.
Yeah, that's the main thing. They got to watch all exits, all entrances of this Viper's Pit. Texture could be the linchpin for Gen.G.
As a shot denied, Shorty's good. And look at this! Caron picks up the 4K, able to isolate, able to feed off of the play that Texture is giving him the opportunity to retake the site and secure the round once again for Gen.G.
Again, right? I mean, this guy, Caron, picked off this, I don't want to say streets, but the rookie coming out from like almost nowhere, but proving himself again and again. You talk about firepower, and PRX has a lot of it, but Gen.G in this new form has picked up some new guns, some new shooters, and they are definitely bringing the challenge.
Absolutely, and again, just not having any form of extra information there for PRX. They were just going blind into calls that they wanted to do. They even saved the operator here for Texture, so he's got a chance again to find something. Not the player, but you know, the opportunity to get. I'm gonna have to find another other than something to do this. Anyways, Paranoia is activated. Texture's blinded here. He's looking for a TP, but Lakia is making some waves at the front of the site on Brick, and fortunately, Texture's not gonna find the PRX Yoru. That's gonna be a secure plant on the spike. Everyone else here for Gen.G looking for the lurk all the way through A main that is being handled by Mindfreak.
Still somehow Caron getting a tap onto something. That brings things back to a 3-on-3. Of course, Mindfreak wanting to play off the Hunter's Fury, but he knows that there's a potential play coming through.
Another one. Meteor gives himself a bit of space. Push left or right. What it's going to be? It's going to be the right. He wins, but he's down to 5. Oh, this is going to be so bad. Difficult even for him. That's going to be Divine bringing it back. Very, very confusing fight there for Gen.G. You just saw everybody look everywhere to look for any players.
That's the main thing, right? Because that's how PRX executes. I mean, Grandpappy Achilles will be smiling about that one. He's like, yeah, I remember there's PRX back in the day. This is what they used to do. They orchestrate chaos. And that's exactly what they do. You got something, gate crashing in. He's got the fake outs, and it's so confusing for Gen.G as they try to defend. You're watching for so many pieces of utility, not to mention Monyet, who kind of comes in with a shorty inside the smokes, and that's what he was known for back on Global Esports last year.
Having Lakia choosing whether he has to go for the gunfight or flash for Texture here makes it even additionally difficult. Munchkin, he backs away. Look at how close something has already got on the top mid. TP's out. I like the use of the code just to break the tripwire, but at what cost? Forsaken. He's already decayed down to 20. My goodness.
Yeah.
This man is walking on thin ice.
It got a little bit risky because Gen.G are trying to get a good read for the game right now. They've got these 4 players stacked up on B,
Lakia's
so able to shoot through. And with the space now, Lakia pushed up halls, but not quite able to capitalize.
Look at how they just left pieces of the PRX players all around the map sprinkled just to get those lurk kills, and it is actually working for them, especially that Gen.G is on this weaker buy. Feels like Gen.G is just pressured to try to get control elsewhere, but PRX, it's a lure into their trap, man. They're just saying, sure, thank you very much. Texture, though, this is the perfect chance for him to get some kind of information, some kind of impact.
You wanted to say something, didn't you?
I stopped myself mid-sentence already, all right? You didn't have to point it out.
I feel yes, right? I feel, no, I mean, it's just the name.
I can already feel the chat, you know? How is this caster like this? No vocabulary? Use a thesaurus. Sorry, guys.
Sorry, it's not easy. You think you could do our jobs?
All right, Caron's alone. I mean, he's going to probably just wait till this event horizon engulfs him. Oh, wow. He even finds Monyet.
Oh, my God. That would be great if he could get even more or pick up a rifle at the very least. Look at how he's so careful jump peeking out. But up against Forsaken, of course, it's going to be the tap that finishes him off. I mean, in this round, again, it's just kind of what we saw in the first, right? You know, PRX, they can play around the entire map thanks to the utility of Something's Yoru. I mean, gate crashing back and forth. They can rotate so easily. Sometimes Gen.G has to catch up to it.
Good as quick catch from Something and the rest of the team. As I mentioned, just playing the opposition lurks, playing with Gen.G. And one more round. It is pretty close, though. Gen.G's able to get this 5-6. Could even be a 6-6 if they play their cards right, but with the Reckoning and Dimensional Drift activated, it could be very difficult. But Texture's already pushed up all the way through elbow. They're not going to know about this, but he whips. Thankfully enough, he has Lakia right beside him to help him out. PRX are dwindling in numbers. Mindfreak finds something with the Odin.
I go to Spike.
And he brings it right back, 3 versus 3. Plenty of walls. Can they calm themselves down to plant the spike even? Not going to happen just yet. Monyet has control of the back of the site here. Ultimate activated right now by Mindfreak. Big flanks coming in from Munchkin. So the time for Monyet to make something happen is very minuscule here. 2 versus 1. Charon now backing himself away. Gonna double up with his teammate. And this is the perfect time for them to try working their magic against the one. What is this TP? Did he try to pick up a spike? No, he's just trying to reposition for the fight. Very aggressive from Monyet, but it's not gonna work out.
Nice try, but Munchkin just turns around and says, dude, you thought you could pull off that flank. How many flanks do
Rex about to have the welcome party outside of A main. Smoke quickly placed there as well as the Cascade. Shock darts from Mindfreak to dissuade anybody pushing up onto the Hall's position. The swing outs from PRX, like I mentioned, because they don't have that Sentinel, they just have to start peeking and pushing, and as well as just getting that contact. Shots through the smoke, able to get Lakia. The push out from Texture, and he finds something. Could get another one. What a flank from Texture. Down to 25, but his lethality is still very much felt. Thus settling, numbers favoring Gen.G, Monyet, as well as Devi. Devi's already coming in for the flank here, and Texture, he's very much unaware of it.
He is holding a bit of an off angle though, so Devi can't really just waltz right through that door.
On mid though, that's going to be Monyet by himself. Does have the paranoia. I'm not sure if he actually spotted the other one. Texture, that door closes. The opportunity for Devi is not even possible. Dude had the so close yet so far away situation.
He opened the door again.
Okay, so his positioning's already given. He's pushing out. Jumping through the smoke smartly to try to get a coax out of everybody. And this is the thing. Every single opponent of Devi right now is low. So his Sheriff has a lot of lethality on it.
Just one shot to the body. But look at the positioning.
He's so unaware. And you can see that with how he's moving up here, that he wants to get close against Charon, but he's so afraid of where Texture actually might be, even thinking it could be mid.
I mean, he's got a bit of time, but Texture is the main one to look out for right now.
Did they just barely miss each other? Look at Devi. I think he heard the drop down too. Texture's about to just peek out. And Devi, can he be able to reel it in for the round win? Cool, calm, collected. My man is patient as can be.
What is up, Danger? He's got that Sheriff. It's got the word Danger written all over it, and he just clutches it out for the team. I mean, apart from being, keeping his composure, just knowing, okay, I have a rough idea of where Texture is. As long as I keep my sights right up around door, I should be okay. But the main thing is Orner, and he is able to flick back and forth, now catching up to Texture in terms of kills.
He completely turned around W Gaming. It turned into an M. Meditation, you know?
Yo, what, like what, Mario, Wario kind of? What am I?
But I mean, dude is, I used the term yesterday, I think, zen. Very zen with how he approaches these fights. He's not impatient, like you mentioned. He has a lot of time to make use of. Anyways, big contact coming in from this one. Couple of marshals activated. What a risk from Monyet just to peek that out. Forsaken, though, dipping his toes as well into the swing game outside of A main. Oh, it's Monyet, I love this. And he actually challenges, but Forsaken drops. This could be bad. If he re-challenges this once again, he's the only one holding the site for the moment here. And he has to back away, wait for the reinforcements as Mindfreak and Devi are slowly creeping up back onto A.
Trades the Outlaw for a Bulldog too, just wants additional firepower. We've got a little bit of support from Mindfreak coming through halls just to check. But he's got to be so careful. I mean, Gen.G are bunched up together. It's a full squad of classics and marshals. He hears the jump. Gets the first shot.
He gets away too. So no trade here for Meteor. Throws out the recon dart for a bit of that safety. And he's home safe. Wait, no. Okay, now he's home safe.
Gen.G really just wants to wait for more picks and then maybe try to soften up defenses, try to sneak through. But at this point, only 30 seconds left. They have to hightail it to B, and as long as Meteor can do the same thing that he's doing right now, Gen.G might have a better time in this round.
Oh my goodness,
What?
Mindfreak couldn't really do anything. And the rest of Gen.G gonna be walking up to B.
10 seconds.
It's all up to something. He's got a Guardian. The aim god. Okay, good at the first. Gets the second one instantaneously, but he's dropping in HP and bullets and everything. And it's down once again to Monyet. Oh, was that a tag? It was. Look at how just low both of these players are. I mean, even if Meteor drops down, you can already see Charon waiting patiently at the back of the site, and even finds Monyet trying to reposition, and Gen.G somehow makes the thrifty round work.
I'll tell you somehow, it was Meteor. All it took was a Marshall, and this guy's still as lethal as he was last year. Maybe not on the Jet anymore, but as soon as he pushes up halls, look at these picks that he's getting. It might not always be headshots, but just because he plays around the space that way, plays around the obstacles, he keeps himself tucked away, and he's always able to chip away at PRX bit by bit. That's, you know, something had some nice Guardian kills that was really flashy, really fun to watch, but it's not clean enough for an anti-eco round that PRX was meant to win.
Absolutely. I mean, it just also felt like PRX was agreeing to the aim duel, and Gen.G was coaxing him to do that. There was...
You want an aim duel.
Exactly. Lesser risk for Gen.G to do that because it was a... They were just on Marshalls, man. They weren't even committing to purchase this, and Forsaken, what was that? Actually gets through the defense, the line of sight, doesn't even have to trigger the trap here, and does get a one-to-one trade. I mean, I don't know how impactful that is going to be, but still is going to show how both teams very much willing to take those off-angle risks to try to get something.
Both of them are in the fight very much so. 7-7 right now, and that's the main thing. You definitely can't underestimate PRX too much, and I think that's why Gen.G are taking things really slow right now. You know, maybe trying to suss out information, but we don't have that much in terms of gathering, right? You got to think about Lakia's guiding light usage. So maybe just executing onto A right now, and it depends on how well PRX can hold their ground.
What a far smoke from Monyet, too! Mindfreak's going to be gifted himself a Bulldog, and no one's there to trade it for Gen.G. So they get themselves some control, but Charon and Munchkin making quick work of that A site. Gen.G find themselves the advantage.
1 point in the lead. It was against pistols, but you gotta admire how they, you know, went in silently. Made sure that they were, you know, going to pre-fire some of these corners. They checked some of it. Although Meteor did die, it was a bit of information that they could use to go up against, you know, Mindfreak up around halls. And a relatively clean round for Gen.G, and that's what you would have wanted for PRX in the previous. So, on to the next. Now, Texture's got enough for the Blade Storm, doesn't need to buy up. Gen.G's economy starting to flow, Asarai.
Absolutely. They even have themselves Charon's Cosmic Divide.
Oh.
Monyet finding Meteor through the push on A main. This is what they want. They want to stop these multiple angles of attack, go for a little bit of coverage, and the flashes is so good that Gen.G just have to rub their eyes and wait for the blindness to dissipate. And as it does, Munchkin's by himself. Forsaken devours, and that's going to be a flawless round for PRX.
Wow, I mean, that's another one of those things again, because when you think about PRX, every single one of these guys have the potential to frag out. And Monyet is single-handedly picking duels outside of, you know, A main. You know, he's got support from the team. You've got Forsaken watching mid. And it's just that much more difficult for Gen.G to really pull off some of these, like, split pushes that they want to go for. So they have to really rethink the strategies. You know, if this carries on, I could foresee a timeout being called by Solo.
Both teams have actually used their first timeouts as well in that first half, but it feels like they have a better grasp of what is happening right now. Again, it just goes to show how even it is, that 8-8. Look at how close something is on this mid control. How risky it is too. A stray pop shot, that smoke going, and there's the pop shot. He's actually getting tagged. He might want to get away right now.
Movement though.
But he did give away his teleport on. He does have the dimensional drift, so he can get away from this without having to use that gate crash, or because he's in such an off angle and he's that Yoru, he can just do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he's gonna gate crash out now. Definitely doing what he wants. I mean, just getting enough information, or maybe pulling the attention away from Gen.G as they start to go back towards mid. Now the high tide invested. A little bit awkward though with the curve, so Texture has actually made it onto the other side.
He's still doing this. Something. Yikes. I mean, you know, shame on me, and then shame on him if he does that again. The wall's dropping down, and Forsaken!
Spike down.
How he used his teammate as the great bait mate. They thought they wouldn't double up, but he did. He does get some value.
left.
30 seconds left, and Gen.G lose all control of that mid-push, but they wait to use that neural theft for that information.
Asteroid, we are fishing out here, but it's big information. Now we know Davai is alone and cold on the B site. Maybe we could harpoon him, but we've got 13 seconds left.
Oh, he's just gonna hold by himself.
Wow.
Again, boy's patient, man. He just has to wait for him to peek into his crosshair, and Davai single-handedly holding this. Can he beat down Meteor? No. But because of the recon dart, he's given away his position. Meteor is just having to hold so many angles. The shot dart! Mind Freak, what are you doing? Have you lost your mind? Are you a freak? Well, he could definitely be. Paranoia misses Meteor. But know exactly where he is. Down to 14. 3 bullets in a dream. And is this dream going to turn into reality? As Monyet denies. Comes up, man, swings, and does not miss.
He knows he's low, and all he's got to do is to go in for that burst. So very confident, you know, cool enough. He might be the youngest player, but still has enough experience, and that's one of the things that people don't really know. Might have been a global esports last year, but he has been playing throughout Indonesian Valorant for quite a while, and he's always been this talented. And apart from that, you know, also just Davai. You know, we were talking about fishing a little bit. Remember, Mika and Victoria were telling us about this as well. Davai fishes in real life. He is patient. And he knows he turns that situation into a 2-on-1 for his team.
Yeah. He knows that sometimes all he has to do is, again, not do anything. That's already a lot because the stress on Gen.G makes them try to peek out, makes them want to get as much information as they possibly can. Something, he's already nursing himself an operator all above here on Halls, and I really like this because he gets so much information, so much value. His gate crash is about to expire, but shouldn't matter at the moment as Gen.G coming out of elbow.
Yeah, he can always just regroup with his team and other means. Main thing, though, is for Davai to stay alive right now.
Oof. Well, he can, especially because of those flashes. But the punishes from the Reckoning as well as the Hunter's Fury does get the value something, just jumping in and out with the shorty.
I got the spike.
Numbers still favoring Gen.G. All of them now on the site. What's the damage here? What's the capabilities? Monyet wreaking some havoc outside of Arch, but he's alone. They haven't picked up the spike. He can reposition into this, and he's got everything. Shrouded Step, Paranoia, and there's smoke. Gen.G realizes, wants to actually double up. They want to use the numbers in their favor. Monyet, did he hit all of them? He did!
Ooh.
He repositions! My God, Monyet!
He's
down
out of
to
ammo,
one
though.
bullet. He has to change, either reload or change, which he does. And Monyet almost gets it, but Munchkin perseveres and wins. Oh boy, that was close for both.
I mean, just a bit of nerves on stage. Unfortunate that he ran out of ammo in his magazine right after, but still, it comes down to it. Munchkin actually lands the flick above Monyet, so it's all of these like really thin margins, and it comes out on top. Sometimes numbers advantage will still prevail, and that's why, you know, it gets so dicey when you're going for these shorty kills. The Reckoning, the Hunter's Fury was awesome.
Yeah, and plus, you know, FYI for people, if you only shoot one bullet at the outlaw and reload it, it's faster than, you know, the full reload. So
I don't hate it, but I'm nervous, Asteroid. Oh boy.
Okay, that's gonna be Forsaken just back. Oh, that's not even him backing away. That's a trade by Meteor, punished by Meteor, straight into the neural theft, and Peekaboo, I see you. Whole map exposed.
Just trying to get out of, get as much out of Gen.G as possible in this round, right? If any round is the round that we want to bait out those ultimates, bait out those pieces of utility, that's gonna be this one.
Woo! Monyet got the Marshall in hand, shooting through the smoke blindly.
Wow.
Meteor comes in for the pinch, and he will get diced. Mind Freak looking a little bit too far away. That's gonna leave Ilya by himself. I was about to say Davai, but then he's just by himself right now. Oh, he does not get the shot onto Meteor as well, and he's position exposed. Gets the heal. This might actually have to be a save from him, as he just backs away. Wait. He has a gate crash all the way at the end of Halls. Is he willing? No, probably not.
I think it ran out. It's probably opting for the save instead at this point, but still, I mean, definitely trying to get an idea.
Yeah.
So scouting out, what Gen.G's early game plan is, right? At least in the first 30 seconds. Sometimes, they're up around elbow, up around mid. And this time you could definitely feel that A presence, and just not too sure how PRX can really disrupt that. We were talking about it before. That's why you have the Yoru, right? You always want to push up front. You always want to scout and then gate crash back.
Yeah.
But it's still, sometimes just a little bit risky.
I guess the problem for that is because you only have technically the one duelist that can reposition. I mean, you can maybe argue that Monyet can also do it as the Omen here. There's not really a lot of options for PRX to really get out of harm's way without getting punished, even with the smokes, right? So we're kind of seeing the other way of that, which is getting punished by Gen.G and ultimately giving rounds to Gen.G. Okay.
Whoa.
Seeker's been activated. Forsaken's just charging right in. Divide? Does he even get spotted? No, he doesn't even have to look at his opponents. Cool guys, don't look at snakebite kills. It's not even an explosion, guys. It's a slow burn, a slow, painful poison burn. Cosmic Divide used on this A side itself. Cove making Gen.G just a tad bit afraid. As it drops, now they know. And they even have, the Viper's Pit to make things a little bit easier as they transition, into this post plant.
And that's it, an uphill battle for PRX, right? They might be able to surround this Viper's Pit. There is a trip on the other side. Meteor can make use of it. And then you still got to watch out for those players up inside A main. How do you break this?
Monyet, though, he's vertical, dude. He's got the high ground advantage, and he is using that to actually get the one up. Viper's Pit. Use the snake bite to get a little bit of damage. No one's defusing the spike! And Munchkin through the smoke! Oh, this is going horribly wrong for PRX. Someone's gonna have to start defusing it. Someone's gonna have to hold him. Munchkin, what can you do? Absolutely everything, as he actually has bought enough time. They die to the event horizon, and that's gonna be Gen.G with 2 rounds advantage, closing up to maybe the map point already in this game.
Just incredible. I mean, the combination of, first of all, the Cosmic Divide to give them that much more space, that much more security, and then the Viper's Pit, and how Munchkin is playing off of it. This is what Gen.G can do off of a post-plant, and it's just that much more difficult. PRX, although we had Monyet, kind of like you mentioned, Asarai, with the vertical play, trying to break through that Viper's Pit, trying to break through Meteor, it worked out for just a second, and that's why it's just so much that PRX has to work off, and now it's a 2-round differential. How do you climb up against that? And they have to make it happen if they are to start out strong in VCT Pacific kickoffs this year.
Well, thankfully enough, they do have money, creds, to have the weaponry to make something happen. I will honestly try to find a different word other than something. If you guys could just DM me a different word I can use so that you guys will not be confused. Anyways, the man himself, Ilya, is there on elbow.
Here.
Nursing himself, the operator, once again. He is just holding that angle for the absolute longest time. He is hoping that someone is just going to go into his spider's web, but unfortunately for the moment, Gen.G, they have their eyes set up here on that A site, and it could actually be good. Monyet's cold in for that one-way smoke that actually drops in and turns into a regular smoke that has a very big partial outside of A main that could actually be bad for Divide. We'll have to see how that works out, and he is trying to clear that with all intentions by himself.
He's got a bit of time.
Oh, he's so alone. Oh, he is so dead. Oh, this is not looking too good for PRX. Forsaken doing the same thing. No flashes, and he absorbs his opponent right in front of him, gets full flash, but the trades from PRX are actually working. Shot through mid. Oh, something gets it. He even finds the lurking Meteor. And all of this because of the shock darts coming in from Mind Freak. Lakia will plant the spike.
Spike planted.
Monyet does not chase for him or tries to punish him. So it's the double up from the both of them. Something coming in from the wide swing, and he's had enough.
Something getting the final kill. Mind Freak, there's something getting kills, we've seen that before. Mind Freak with 2 shock dart kills. Not something you see every day, but a welcome sight nonetheless. I mean, just getting the information off of Divide, trying to play around Monyet's dark cover. That one felt really iffy. But look at how Forsaken really comes back in. And after they get that information, just being able to, you know, put out the tire traps. You got those Caltrops, the shock darts. Gen.G can't really walk onto site that freely. So PRX trying to play a little bit more patient this round, especially with something posted up with that operator. That was the cherry on top in this round.
They got to go for these adaptive risks, I think, because Gen.G is so good at just, I don't know if I'm correct with these made-up stats, but they feel like they have the first bloods, you know, very much locked and loaded in this first map. Something at least pads the stats a little bit more in the favor of PRX with that peak. And that slows down Gen.G by a big margin. Not having the flashes anymore from Lakia really hurts the chances here for Texture to get more of these quick contacts into the site.
Definitely slows down Gen.G. They're always going to be thinking about what's next. But now, Dimensional Drift, just to gain further information. 1 minute left on the clock, and Gen.G actually going back off of a bit of a default. They want to spread themselves across the entire map. Ooh. Just saw the spike.
All right. Mr. Risky here. You know, not even...
Dude, they are living dangerously.
Yeah. One Blade Storm at a time.
But it works for them. And right now, he's got information if they were to cross in the risky way. Most of them have already bypassed it, so something going to reposition. But what I'm curious about is Karen actually lurking up around mid.
That also, and, well, there you go. He finds the one pick onto something here. There's the quick charge out. Tailwind was actually saved up by Texture, so he has capabilities to enter the site.
Oh,
Forsaken's not going to know about Karen here. Or does he? The Reckoning actually spots him out 14 seconds. Let's see what the battle comes in through the mid. It's going to be Forsaken. Spike, though, should get planted. It's all down to Forsaken for now as he waits for Divide to back the site. Back what? But Texture! What a reposition! What a challenge! And what aim has this top fragging Korean brought to the Gen.G roster?
Texture, what a monster. Dude, yesterday, 2 days ago, he already had such an incredible stat line up against his opponent's RRQ. Having those first kills that you mentioned before, he has 16 throughout the entire series. I feel like this one, he got even more. But not just that, the Blade Storm, the aim off of it, the way that he cut down Divide at his knees really blocks out PRX, and now they've earned that match point. And remember, they are still sitting on one timeout.
Bro can see like 2 seconds into the future, man. And in a very quick and fast game like Valorant, that's all you really need. That Cascade was supposed to give some sort of safety, an access point for PRX to get through on halls, but it turns into a signer for Lakia to, it's kind of obvious. I'm just going to pop shots. What am I going to lose? Absolutely nothing. And he gains the 1 kill for almost everything here. There is no money for PRX right now. Forsaken. Okay, that's one. Mindfreak's going to have to go big, which he does. Oh, this drone. This drone! Blows up right in his face, dude. It's all down to the buy. He's got a Vandal, but he's so far from the situation on A.
I'm running out of words. I would have thought that maybe at least something would have been able to get a trade at least, but wow. Decision making just a little bit off, but then at the same time for Gen.G to pick up these frags that quickly. They are looking in new form today. William is definitely chuckling at the desk. And now they are just 1 kill away from pushing us into the next map.
Definitely patting himself on the back with his Gen.G inspired outfit. 3 versus 1. Oh my god, Divide doesn't even have any smokes to supplement himself. He just has the weapon in the corners, and that spike is just dwindling down ever so closely to exploding. He does find Texture, but I mean, Karen's just gonna activate Gravity Well. Whoops, whoop. That's about it.
They know they got it.
He's got no time, man. That's gonna be it. And Gen.G get themselves map 1 in this series up against PRX.